Do you take this woman as your lawful wedded wife?
Ooh, yeah! Oh,
Place the ring on her finger and repeat after me. With this ring,
no. With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
Hello, and welcome to With This Ring, episode 52. I'm your co-host, Ryan Everett.
I'm your co-host, Cindy Everett.
And episode 52, we are actually entering our 5th calendar year
Yeah.
of doing the podcast, so lasted quite a bit longer than I thought.
Right,
I thought maybe I'd be able to wrangle you into 4 or 5 of these episodes. And...
Well, they haven't canceled us yet.
Yes.
And so
yes.
we'll just keep doing it. I mean, we're watching wrestling anyways. So
Yes,
might
exactly.
as well
Talk
about it and share with our tens of fans.
Yes,
Or
the dozens and dozens.
I think dozens and dozens is a little generous, but that's fine.
Yep. So, as we move into a new calendar year, we'll also do that on our reviews.
Yeah.
Moving-
So, as everyone remembers, we did all of the 1998 pay-per-views in 2023. Now we're turning the calendar.
Yeah.
And actually, this is kind of good continuity because now I have a little bit of a baseline between like a
Right.
90s Rumble to 90s Rumble. Spoiler alert, this one's not as good
No,
as the
no,
1998
we'll get
one,
into
but-
that, yeah.
But now I get to see the evolution of people like The Rock from when he started.
Right,
Beginning
yeah.
of 1998 when he was, with the Nation of Domination and how that's evolved and how Kane is now very big.
Yes.
Annoying.
Yeah, he's moved past just burning his brother.
Right. Right. Maybe you're right. It's not just the Kane Undertaker feud constantly.
Right.
What's
I mean,
the-
we'll still get into plenty of
Right.
that, but for now they're
Kind of put
they
that on
finally
the back burner.
kind of diverged their paths for a little bit at least.
Right. And now it's, Vince, the corporation versus Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And then DX. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
the
so-
3 factions or talk about
So
that.
before we get into 99, we have to let's
Okay,
move back
sorry.
to the end of 1998. So right after Rock Bottom, the next night the DX came out and did another of their spoofs
Oh, that's right.
of the corporation. So that kind of hit, and they had already started feuding because Shawn Michaels came back and turned on X-Pac and joined the corporation. So they were already starting to feud, and now that Triple H was back and healthy,
Yeah.
because before it was like X-Pac's the main guy.
Right.
He's not a main eventer, but Triple H is someone that they're trying to.
But I always liked X.
Yeah, I mean X-Pac's one
He's
of
a
the
good
best. He's
wrestler.
probably at this
Technically,
point
yeah.
technically the best wrestler in the company.
Yeah, I believe
Like
that.
as far as it, and that's
Actual
kind of
skills.
what they always used him as. Like a guy, if a new guy came in, he'd have a match with X-Pac, and he'd say yeah, this guy can go, or no, this guy.
Oh, really? He
yeah.
was kind of like their screener.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
and it's interesting that you noticed that. Like you could
Oh,
pick
yeah.
that out.
Well,
Yeah.
he's with the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Right. Yeah.
So I
Yes.
always had my eye on him.
So the corporation and DX feud kind of was picking up, and
I didn't take any notes on the spoof. Was that with the midgets?
yeah, the midgets
Yeah.
were Patterson and
Yes.
Briscoe sniffing Mr. McMahon's sphincter.
Right.
Yes, and it also had so this is cut from the network
Okay, right.
because The Rock, the Croc, Triple H as The Rock, I think he's got a little bit of a spray tan on, but it's
Yeah.
not as bad as the Nation one where
Ooh, yes.
X-Pac is in full on blackface.
Oh, we didn't watch that one.
No,
That
we
was
didn't, but-
scrubbed off the internet.
Yeah, I mean, it's still on YouTube. You could find it, but so this one, I think it was kind of just anything that could even be. I think anything that could even be
Perceived as, yeah.
blackface is just off
Take it
all
out.
streaming services nowadays.
Yep.
Which is
Yep.
a good thing. I mean.
Right,
But
right.
this one, I think, I mean, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5 are
darker.
much darker than Triple H's version of The Rock here.
True. But anyways, so then I had my notes. Yes, Shawn Michaels is back with DX though. 'Cause he
Well, yeah.
Eventually, I think I missed a session here, but
Well, no, because we kind of skipped over a couple. So we watched the Raw after DX, and then we skipped a little bit ahead. So on that Raw, though, Steve Austin and The Undertaker both go away for a few weeks at this point, just kind of to give themselves a rest.
Mm-hmm.
But Vince McMahon announces that since Steve Austin did beat The Undertaker, he is in the Royal Rumble. And he picks his number, and of course it's number 1.
Right, of course.
And then he gives a big introduction to a new man who will be making his WWF in-ring debut at the Royal Rumble. And then, of course, the guy won't come out. He's so shy.
That's right,
and Shane McMahon then calls him out, and it's Vince.
Of course.
And Vince draws a number, and he draws number 30.
Of course.
And then the next week, Shane McMahon...
And Shane's like fully in the picture now.
Yeah, Shane's like
annoying. Okay.
co-owner. And
quote-unquote co-owner?
Yes, and Vince has to go to the insane asylum to get Kane, because Kane's going to be part of the corporate team now.
Obviously.
But during that, Shane's like power hungry and makes a match for himself against Mankind.
See, too much, it's too convoluted. It's too convoluted to keep going.
So Mankind beats up Shane McMahon, and for some reason, Shawn Michaels holds the corporation back from like getting involved in this match. So the next week, Vince McMahon's all pissed off and fires Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
And then we pick it up on the January 4th Raw, which was a tape draw, where Shawn Michaels comes out and reveals that he has an ironclad contract. He can't be fired.
Oh.
But he can rule over any wrestler other than Steve Austin. And since Vince McMahon is now a wrestler in the Royal Rumble, he can overrule him, and he makes him number 2 in the Royal Rumble.
Okay, that's confusing. Unnecessarily so.
Yeah, it's kind
a little
of
plot heavy for wrestling.
Yeah, they were very heavy on the stories here, not so much the...
It's very much the soap opera era.
But the reason this Raw is so famous, or infamous if you're a WCW fan, was they also do Mankind versus The Rock for the WWF title.
Mm-hmm.
And since it was a tape draw, if you had read, like, that's what's going to happen, you would just assume, oh, it's going to end in a double DQ or something, and Mankind will get a title match at the Royal Rumble. But, shock of shocks, they actually have Mankind win the title.
Mm-hmm.
And on Nitro, they were having their big match of... It was supposed to be a rematch of Goldberg's first loss against Kevin Nash. And as this is going on Nitro, going to commercial, they say, and we hear on our competitor they're going to have Cactus Jack, who was a preliminary wrestler here, win their world title. Yeah, that'll put some butts in the seats.
Oh.
And then immediately 600,000 people changed the channel to Raw to watch the taped match rather than... And also Nitro, at their own expense, also just made it a very stupid storyline where Goldberg is arrested for aggressive stalking with Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, jeez.
And
she's still around?
Yeah.
At this point? Okay.
But she's part of the NWO, and eventually they reveal that, she sees Goldberg everywhere because he's in WCW. They go to the same towns. It's not amazing that they're...
Right.
And she goes to the gym, and it's owned by Goldberg, so he would have something to do with it.
Obviously.
So, but in the meantime, while Goldberg's arrested, Hulk Hogan takes the match. And they have Kevin Nash versus Hulk Hogan, which should have been a big-time match, but instead Hulk Hogan gives him what's now known as the Fingerpoke of Doom.
Okay.
And pins Nash and wins the belt.
Why
Like
is
a
it
fake match. Like, he literally pokes him, and Kevin Nash falls down.
Oh,
like,
jeez. So everyone's like...
So it was all a ruse.
Yeah.
The NWO is back together again.
Okay.
And everyone's watching the tape draw that this happened on.
600,000, is that like...
Out of like 4 million.
Is that number you pulled out of the air? Or is that
No,
like,
that's on... It's, Wikipedia has it.
Okay. Fingerpoke.
Yep. It has its own...
Fingerpoke of Doom.
Yeah.
Right. Did you write this Wikipedia article?
No, I can't write those.
Why not?
I don't want to.
Okay. You could wanted to. Anyways.
Although this revelation was meant to deter Nitro viewers from switching to Raw, it instead reportedly prompted 600,000 viewers to change channels in order to see Foley's victory, with most viewers only turning back in Nitro when there were 5 minutes left in the broadcast, in which the finger poke occurred.
That's really funny.
And a little personal note to that, it should have been my first day back at school, but we had a miracle snowstorm that Sunday that closed school for not only that Monday, that Tuesday also.
Ooh,
so
nice.
That was key because, you know,
right.
If Raw's on Monday, you want the Tuesday off also. So,
sure, your parents are really ready to get you out of the house by then.
Yeah,
but
I just stayed in my room. It wasn't like I was.
Well, I was going to ask if you were one of those 600,000 people.
I mean, I was at this time. I was always. I had the 2 VCRs.
Oh.
So I was taping both shows.
Gotcha.
But I would be on Raw unless it was a commercial or something on WCW was interesting. And even though I read, because you could also read the Raw results, and I read them every Wednesday morning, faithfully. So I knew what was going to happen, but I wasn't going to change for that.
Right.
I mean,
did you have the TV, like the last channel button to
Oh,
flip?
yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Because before that was a thing, you had to like rekey in the
It wouldn't have
channel
been
every
that bad
time.
because it was 29 and 31
Oh, okay.
for us,
Click,
USA
click,
and
yeah.
TNT. So it was basically the same amount of
Clicks.
of
Yeah. Okay.
effort
Keystrokes,
needed.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah. So
All
this
right,
match, what did you think of it?
Which one?
The Raw match with The Rock and Mankind.
It was good. I like their matches.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting confused. Oh yeah, the one I'm thinking the one where we see during the actual Royal Rumble.
Right. Yeah.
But no.
So
I
this
had
is
Triple- I had
his
Triple
DX
H.
and Corporation are at ringside.
Wait, I think I missed this one. I have Triple H.
Oh
and
yeah, they
Mick
do.
Foley.
Yeah, earlier in the night they have that match, and Shane screws Mick,
That's what I put out. That's
And
what I put
then-
in my notes.
and then immediately Mankind like puts him in the arm,
Oh,
a
that's
submission
right.
move, and demands the match with The Rock
That's
tonight.
right. Oh, that's right. That's right. They have good chemistry. This
Yeah, they
year.
do.
You
And
know,
I think this is
the
like
year of the Rock and Mick
A
Foley.
good. It's not too long because it's on Raw, but it's about 10 minutes and gets all the big hits in. And then towards the end, DX and the Corporation are fighting, and Steve Austin's music breaks, and it's one of the loudest pops
Yeah, oh,
ever.
lose their minds.
People are going
Yeah.
crazy, jumping up and down. From the whole time he walks down, hits The Rock with a chair,
That's
puts
right, I
Mankind
remember
on
this one,
top,
yeah.
and Mankind wins the belt.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another reason people would have turned over.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, but he's only out there like 40
That's-
seconds,
that's
so
true.
it's
That's true.
pretty quick, but he makes his presence felt.
Oh yeah, yeah. He always does, especially after being away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my notes pick up with the corporate rumble.
Yeah, so then the next week, they have the Corporate Rumble where whoever wins, they say it's open to anyone in the corporation or DX,
So what was their like pretext to set this up?
and whoever wins this is number 30 in the Royal Rumble.
Because Vince doesn't want to be.
Because
in
Vince
it.
wants to be number 30
30. Vince wants to be 30.
in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
he was made number 2.
Right.
Now he wants to
be 30,
work
that's
around
right.
that. So they do it, and of course Vince is seemingly the last guy to come out, and he tosses the Boss Man and Triple H at the end. But then the DX music hits again,
Yep.
and Chyna comes out, and as she gets in the ring,
Steve Austin
comes out again and distracts Vince long enough to allow
For
Chyna
Chyna.
to toss him out.
Yep.
And Vince shows how unathletic he is by almost snapping his neck
Yeah.
as he goes over the top rope and gets clotheslined
Right. Yeah.
by the bottom rope.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and like
We'll
I
talk
think-
about the Rumble
Okay.
itself. He's just a very odd physical
Yes,
specimen.
Yes.
More ways than one.
I think also the fact he had on his, like we talked about it, like his like trainer shoes, and
Yeah.
his like pleated khakis, and his belt. It was just like an odd ensemble
Yes.
all around. But anyways, so China's going to be number 30.
Yep.
Steve Austin's number 1. Vince McMahon's number 2. Well, yeah. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah,
'cause
so we get
it's
to
disappointing.
the Royal Rumble. January 30... What is that? 24th, 1999 at the Pond.
The
in
pond. Oh,
the pond
okay,
in
the Ducks.
Anaheim.
Mighty Ducks got it.
Anaheim, California.
Got it.
Yep. And our first match is for actually, no, for some reason they have the Road Dogg, who's the hardcore champion.
Oh, I said there was no stakes involved. I asked you.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the Road Dogg is the hardcore champion. He won it from the Big Boss Man earlier.
So why
So they're having a one-on-one match, which is not
really their style?
good. I mean, it's long. It's a boring match.
11 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
I said just a filler match, but at least it started with 2 good wrestlers.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
does.
like Al Snow.
Yeah, it is
Jeff
two guys that
Jarrett,
were at
like-
least. That is the good thing about Rumble undercards. Usually, you don't have a lot of fluff time.
Right,
They're all in the Rumble.
Right. The fluff's all in the Rumble.
Yes.
You have some decent undercard
Yeah.
matches.
So the
yeah.
I mean, it starts. It's nothing tied to it personally, but it furthers the DX Corporation
Right.
feud.
And this because the corporation wins.
Yes, and then the next match is more of the same.
Yep.
As Ken Shamrock destroys Billy Gunn, like,
Right,
systematically.
Right,
just,
yeah. Well, then, like, Val Venus runs out at one point, too,
yes,
right?
because Val Venus is... They both, Billy Gunn and
Oh, jeez.
Val Venus had caught the eye of Ryan Shamrock, Ken's sister.
Oh, that's her name?
Yes. Named
Quote-unquote
after Ken
sister.
Shamrock's actual son.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And she
Ryan
was...
Shamrock's the most Irish name I've ever heard, by the way.
And apparently she was a female dancer in Houston, and that's where her first appearance was on Raw, and I guess they liked her enough that she stayed around for a while.
Yeah. So they were at, like, a strip club, and they said, like, hey,
pretty
come to
much.
our show.
Well, that's kind of how they got, like, the Godfather's hose and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they'd call strip club owner and be like, hey, does any of your girls want to
like, do this, like,
keep their clothes on and
right. Just kinda,
get
honestly,
$200
it's probably easy money.
Yeah.
Like, just, like, walk out, wave,
Yeah.
and leave. I don't think they're really staying for the whole show.
No, they show up early and they get...
leave after their spot. And
And even then, you get, like, backstage access at wrestling. Back then, it was pretty...
hot shit, yeah. Oh, my light is swear on her podcast?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. Of the E rating. All right, but yeah, I mean, Ken Shamrock does his, like, crazy yelling.
Yeah, he's Robo Shamrock at this point.
And puts him in an ankle lock, so fine.
Yep. Yeah, and that's kind of it with it. This is supposedly, at the time, the urban legend was that Billy Gunn was supposed to win, but he got drunk the night before and showed up late. So to punish him, they changed the IC title so much at this point that it's very plausible that he would have lost it 2 weeks later anyways, so...
Right, once again, at the highest stakes, so
Right.
it's like, whatever. Keep the people entertained.
And next we have your guy, X-Pac.
Yeah, X-Pac versus Gangrel.
Versus Gangrel for the European title.
Drinking his
This,
red liquid.
yes, and this has no build-up whatsoever. Like,
Yeah.
they had not interacted, they had not announced this. It's just, here's
Like,
a
here you
European
go.
title match.
What? I thought D'Lo Brown was the European title.
No, X-Pac won it back
Okay.
on a Raw, I think. So
Okay.
it was...
All right. Well,
And unfortunately, this match gets 5 minutes, while
But-
Ken Shamrock and Billy Gunn get 15 minutes.
yeah, it seems a little out of
I'm not
proportion.
saying, I mean, maybe 8 and 8 or something like that.
Will we skip one?
No, because those are pre-matches
Oh, okay.
on Heat and
Gotcha.
yeah.
That was 14 minutes.
Yeah.
the Ken Shamrock one. Oof. All right. X-Pac and Gangrel getting just like
A minute more
50
than
more, a minute more than
Sable.
and
Yeah, that's
Luna. Which is,
where
oof, yeah.
they had some time distribution problems on the
Yeah,
show.
they could have done that a little bit more intentional at how they used
Yeah.
that time. But yeah, it's good. I mean, I always like X-Pac. But
Yeah.
the ref goofed up the count.
Yeah, there's
this
one point where, yeah, he definitely counts three, and it's
very clearly
not
it's
a
like,
three,
oh,
and
no,
because
keep going.
it's on Gangrel also.
Right.
There's not supposed to be a new European champion. Yep, and then next, as you alluded to, we have Sable versus Luna, and I think we've hit the point of diminishing returns on Sable matches where
Yeah.
if it's not a mixed tag match with two guys carrying the work
Right.
and her just coming in for spots, it's not as good.
Right. Are there are there any like women's matches that don't involve Sable? I feel like all the ones we've watched, it's never like Luna and Jacqueline.
In this time period, not for right now. Eventually,
Sable's the one that people want to see.
yeah, Sable is
But
the
people-
women's division.
But people don't want to see her wrestle. They just
Not really.
want to see
They
her
want to see her
boobs.
boobs, yeah. But if she's wrestling, there's a chance her
see her-
boobs might pop out
Yeah.
because she doesn't really wear the most
Supportive.
conservative
No,
attire.
no, she does not. I mean, yeah. So like once again, Luna does all the work. Sable
Yeah.
wins. So
And yeah, that's all we need to say. It's not.
Yep. Next one's funny.
Yeah, so
yeah.
The
This is
Rock
their,
versus
like,
Mankind
pure
in
art.
an I Quit match. And also, at this point, I should note, as you may have noticed, The Rock is wearing the tracksuit
Yep.
rather than the tights. And apparently at this time he had, I believe the medical name is titty reduction surgery.
Oh really?
Yeah, because he didn't like his fatty Polynesian
Oh.
nipples.
Oh really?
So he had it reduced.
Oh, he had like breast reduction surgery.
Yes.
What'd they take out?
Like
fat?
fatty tissue.
Oh, okay.
And, he's got the nice sculpted body he does now.
He does. Interesting.
And so I think for like 6 weeks or so, he just had to wear the shirt to
Had the scarring.
hide the
probably.
scarring, probably. Or
Interesting.
and
Is that confirmed?
oh yeah, that's
Oh,
like
okay.
he said like cosmetic surgery.
Ah,
but
okay.
I mean,
Well, it is cosmetic.
yeah, exactly. And
I mean, I think women do it like their boobs are so big it hurts their back. I don't think that's why he did it.
yes, and as they say in Superbad, it's like slapping in God's face.
Yeah, never a problem I had. But, anyways, okay. But yeah, so this is
So
the
this
ending's kind of hard to watch. All the chair
Yeah,
shots. But the beginning's really funny.
Right, I think it's a really good
Mick Foley keeps beating him with the microphone.
entertaining match. Yes.
This is good. And The Rock. Oh, okay. I had a question here for this because I feel like mid '90s. Sometime I like. So 1997 is just like Bloodfest. I feel like there wasn't a lot of blood in 1990. What was the stance on blood at this time?
Oh, let it flow.
Really?
Yeah, there was a lot in '98.
Yeah, I just didn't
Like there was
remember it.
not like '97. The
But
Steve
this-
Austin blood. That was
That's
like
the one I was thinking of.
that was like not allowed at the time.
Oh, really?
They like
he got
they
in
were
trouble
like
for that.
well they would have gotten in trouble if they didn't end up having the greatest match ever.
Right.
So it kind of evened it out. But like
But you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like
up until
this-
like '97, there was like a no blood policy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like compared to the other match, like there's in this pay per view, there's really not any at all.
Well, there's Mankind.
Yeah, a little
Needs
bit.
a
That's
bunch
what
of stitches.
that's what I kind of was alluding to. Like I saw, I was like,
I mean,
oh,
it's not
been a
like
while.
every show, but
Right.
they do it when it's meaningful.
Gotcha.
I think.
they, kind of, they tried it
It's
out.
not like ECW where they would have 6 matches and 5 guys bleed.
Yeah, well, that's remember we've watched shows before, like the mat is like stained.
Yeah.
It's gross, but this is a little bit more in check.
So the ending of the match comes when The Rock
Yeah.
gets a pair of
Oh my
handcuffs
gosh. Yeah.
and hits him with I think it's like 14 or 15 unprotected chair shots to the
it's
head, and
it's
this
awful.
this was like hard to watch because especially not so much the match, but then in the movie Beyond the Mat.
Oh yeah.
It's like this is one of the segments, like
Oh,
this whole
really?
match, and Mick Foley's family was front row, and I think his son's like 7 and his daughter's like
gosh.
5, and
That's not what you want.
it was only supposed to be like 3 or 4 chair shots, but each of them like Mankind wanted it to look good at the end, and The Rock like they both had different ideas on how the final
Oh jeez.
shot should go, so they kept trying it
Oh,
rather than
no.
like being like, okay, that's good.
Right, like someone like signaling like.
Right. And then at the end, as they point out the next night on Raw, even though Mankind's unconscious, he says, I quit. And it sounds a lot like he screamed it on an interview on Heat earlier in the night. So they reveal that it was actually a recording
Oh, okay.
because he was knocked unconscious,
Oh,
which
obviously,
in a way you could say that's kind of quitting. It's your body
right.
quitting on
Your
you.
body's saying I quit without saying the words I quit.
So yeah, and this was like in retrospect, this was not good for Mick Foley's health, obviously.
No.
And his wife was very upset.
Yeah.
And it kind of changed his style for really the rest of his career until he like his comeback where he doesn't do a chair shot to the head
That's
except
good.
for once in a match.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, next month, right, is they're like Super Bowl halftime, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of rolling down the stairs.
Yeah,
there,
but
right?
it's
not a lot of
it's
chair shots.
yeah, and it's a lot more shtick, which
Right.
is
Oh,
what
yeah.
he's getting. I mean,
He's really good.
he
at it,
extended
so
his
it's funny.
career by figuring out using a sock puppet
Right.
is gonna help get him over. So
Yeah, prop comic.
yes, so he'll
big in the
lean more
90s.
into that. Yes,
But no, this is except for the ending, very fun to match, fun watch.
yes,
to
yeah,
watch.
and I mean, this is also The Rock starting to like talk all throughout the match.
Yeah.
Especially with a I Quit match where the microphones
there.
involved. So
he sings.
yeah,
It's good. Yeah, I know. I see. He had his boobs taken down.
had to take him down a size, a cup.
A cup size. Okay. Then
Then we get to the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. Now,
Austin gets a huge pop.
yeah, Steve Austin is super huge. He had arrived early in the night in a monster truck limo,
Oh, nice.
as
That's a
one
good one.
does. And so the big thing was going in. Vince McMahon was going to offer up to anyone who eliminates Steve Austin $100,000.
That's right. The bounty.
Yes, and they bring that up numerous times. And so Steve Austin enters 1, Vince McMahon is 2, and he comes out just oiled up,
Oh,
showing
yeah.
off his guns.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just has an odd like wooden way of
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah.
And,
His like.
I mean,
body, his
not
gait's
just his
awkward.
like, his strut that he does nowadays, or back then at
His
least.
like swagger.
But this is just like his legs move oddly. Like
Yeah.
he's a very oddly built man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
steroids, I guess, will
Yeah. Kind of just distorted.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they come out, and Steve Austin gets his 30 seconds or 90 seconds unabated of attacking Vince McMahon.
Yeah, everyone eats it up.
Yeah, and goes like he's going to eliminate him, and then throws him back in the middle of the ring because he wants to enjoy this.
Right.
And then Golga comes out.
Yep.
Our good friend from the Oddities.
Yes, with the ICP music that's
censored out on the Peacock as the fans.
Everyone waving their arms to a different song.
To a different beat. And Steve Austin eliminates him in 15 seconds.
Yep.
And then him and Vince McMahon go through the middle rope or under the bottom rope.
Right, so they're not out.
They're not eliminated.
Get out of the ring, though.
And they run to the back, and there's no one in the ring.
Yep.
And then Draws comes out, and there's one person in the ring.
Yep.
And then Edge comes out, and they fight, but no one cares about these two guys.
Right, and yes.
And then in the back, in the women's women's bathroom, the corporation was lying in wait.
Right.
And attacked Steve Austin and laid him out.
Right. Did they have like hit on the jumbotrons? Could people see what was going on?
I mean, they probably have something set up. I'm trying to think of this. It would have been just on like the scoreboard because they didn't have like the big Tron or screen or anything back then.
Yeah.
So but and then it's just these jobbers in the Rumble point. Like
there's a couple low points.
Yeah, like Gilbert, Steve Blackman, Dan Severn, Tiger Ali Singh, the Blue Meanie. Mabel comes out for the first time in 4 years. Well, he showed up on Heat to attack Mankind.
Okay.
And now he's in the Royal Rumble. And then the Road Dogg comes out, and he kind of lasts a little while, but...
Right, he kind of brings some life back into it.
Mabel gets abducted by The Undertaker.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that was really bizarre.
Yeah.
So the Undertaker's like a cult leader now?
Yes, he has his own cult.
For a brief period of time. All right.
You know, kind of the demon, the Satan character.
Demon Kane? Or...
not yet.
I know.
And then, more just jobbers until finally Kane comes out, and he eliminates everyone that's in the ring. Mm-hmm. But then the people from the psychiatric hospital come out to try and get him.
That's right.
And he eliminates himself. So again, there's a point where there's no one in the ring in the Rumble.
Yep.
And then Ryan Shamrock comes out, but he's still just by himself.
Just being his crazy
And then
guy.
at this point, Vince McMahon comes back out.
Right.
And then... Now, the last 10 guys are, at least for the most part...
pretty...
important, but, like, it just goes to show you, if you weren't in the last 10 guys, you don't matter to the company at all.
Really?
I mean, outside of Kane.
Yeah.
Like, all those guys are shown to be very dispensable.
Oh, you think Road Dogg's dispensable?
Yeah, I mean, he had the longest run, but...
Yeah.
So the last 15 minutes of it is pretty good, I think. Like, but once... as we see the Undertaker being loaded into the hearse,
right,
miraculously, right there, an ambulance pulls up, and it's Steve Austin, and he re-enters.
Oh yeah, because we didn't really talk about that yet. After he got attacked in the bathroom by the corporation, they took him away on a stretcher.
Right, he was loaded on a stretcher,
very precariously or haphazardly, I should say.
Yeah, they did not care about his arm not being strapped or anything like that.
I mean, I don't think they were like, whatever.
Yeah. So he's taken away, and then he comes back, and Vince McMahon is very, very worried when he sees Steve Austin returning.
Yeah,
and then he has now come out, and he's the third commentator in this match.
Right. Yeah. So.
And a note about commentary, real quick. This is our second pay-per-view where it's Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
And the reasoning for that is the week before the December pay-per-view in London, there was a pay-per-view, and Jim Ross was told that his mom had died.
Aww.
And he had another bout with his Bell's palsy.
Aww.
So he was like off TV for a couple of months here.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's sad. I was about to ask what happened to JR. He comes back though?
He does, yeah. And they actually show on Beyond the Mat, because they have like all this backstage footage. He's like giving a lot of the lines to Michael Cole, like to say, like, to try and put over the importance. Yeah,
because you really have to like sell it when you're the announcer.
Especially in this time period, especially.
Ridiculous too. Like,
yeah, your boss coming out oiled up and
right, yeah,
thinking he's gonna take on this hillbilly psycho killer. So eventually it gets down though to Chyna comes out.
Yep.
And she does get her final comeuppance with Mark Henry by clotheslining him out.
Yeah.
But then immediately she turns around and is clotheslined out by Steve Austin.
Tips her out right away. So I think they should have given her more of a run, considering.
Yeah,
how
I think
hyped
it was
up
just
the
kind
position.
of. It was just the point that she was in it,
Yeah.
not so much that she
Right.
like hung with them because they do that as the.
She
year
seems
goes
like
on.
she can like wrestle decently.
She could do enough, yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't have her wrestle more. I mean, she should
Yeah.
not be talking. She has like zero
No
charisma, but like
yeah.
she could actually seem like she could wrestle a little bit. But
She has enough skills to get by, yeah.
Right.
But she also needs the match to have lots of bells and whistles, also.
right.
And then, so yeah, it comes down to Steve Austin, the Big Boss Man, is one of the last guys in, and D'Lo Brown is actually in the final
I was
four,
gonna say, yeah.
and he hits his frog splash on
He does, yeah.
on Steve Austin, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But eventually he gets tossed. Actually, he gets tossed by the Big Boss Man,
Right.
And then Austin eliminates the Big Boss Man.
Big Boss Man, sorry, yeah. And then another thing, right, where they're the two of them with classic distraction.
Yep. So Steve Austin here just destroys Vince McMahon here, including a ridiculous chair shot.
That's right.
Actually, in the movie, we see Vince McMahon needed a couple stitches in the back of his head.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, he was busted.
Jeez.
And rolls him in and is just taking his time destroying him, gives him a stunner, is waiting for him to come up, and then The Rock comes out.
Yeah. And just kind of starts yelling at him.
Yells at him, gets on the apron, distracts him long enough for Vince McMahon to come up behind him and toss him and win.
So then Vince McMahon wins the Royal Rumble, which is like lame.
Yeah, well, so I mean that story's fine. The problem with it is like in a Rumble, one of the things you want to do is have someone who's in there a long time, so the fans who either the fans hate or the fans love. So one way or another, they'll care about them. And they could have done it with Steve Austin, but he's not in it for 2/3 of the match.
Right, they kind of just go off stage.
They kind of are like the first 2/3 of this match. Well, Steve Austin and Vince McMahon enter. Don't worry about the next 25 minutes.
Exactly.
And then here's the last, or don't worry about the next half hour.
Right.
Worry about the last 10 minutes.
Right.
Which, usually it will kind of come to that, but not having someone in there the whole time that people care
especially
about.
number one. Yeah, either of them.
Like, yeah, obviously Vince McMahon's not going to wrestle. Like, he could have done the same thing, though, and just escaped and sat on commentary and had Tess protect him or something,
Right, yeah.
But, yeah, it would have been nice to see Steve Austin interact with Gangrel and,
right, kind of knock them all
the
out,
Godfather. I mean, him and D'Lo Brown is a cool little thing that you don't see often.
Right, well, didn't get to see it too much here either.
No, and we do get a very rare Owen Hart, Steve Austin.
Yes, we talked about that.
Not long, but
Right.
they interact for a little bit.
It's fine. When does Owen Hart have his?
That's coming up in May. And
May, okay.
that's why we're going to have to reschedule around that. I don't want to watch that pay-per-view.
Okay.
Because it's nothing
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. All right. That's fine.
But we'll get there
Well, yeah, okay.
when we get there. So
Yeah.
Vince McMahon wins the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yay.
does his bear bath. And
Oh,
homage
yeah.
to Steve Austin.
Mocks all of Steve Austin stuff.
Yep. And then the next night on Raw, it is Vince McMahon is very proud of himself. Talks about how he single-handedly defeated Steve Austin, but does agree that The Rock helped distract him, so he will be getting the $100,000 bounty.
Obviously.
And then decides to announce, though, that he doesn't want to face The Rock at WrestleMania. He's
giving up his spot.
He's giving up all rights and privileges as the winner of the Royal Rumble. And then Steve Austin joins on the Titantron, and he's at Shawn Michaels' house.
That's right.
And they're getting drunk at Shawn Michaels'
yeah,
bar.
And Steve Austin definitely looks drunk
Yes,
here.
Steve Austin he's shoot drunk.
He's kind of like wobbling a little bit.
I think he was, getting into character and did his job.
Got a little too much into character.
Yep. And Shawn Michaels reveals that since Vince McMahon gave up his right as the winner, it immediately goes to the runner-up, which was Steve Austin. So Steve Austin now has
in the running, yeah.
the WrestleMania title match. And then he offers to put that up on the line if he could get a steel cage match against Vince McMahon.
Right,
the
because
next
Vince
pay-per-view.
McMahon's only good at running. So,
Yes.
So
he wants him in a cage where he can't run.
He can't run away. They're all like, ooh.
Yes. And then later in the night, we see the armored truck come in with the Rock's money, and Mankind attacks them and steals the money.
Obviously.
And challenges The Rock to a match at Halftime Heat, which is going to be during the halftime of the big game.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't say
The big
anything
game.
but the big game.
Right. That's still so odd to me.
Yes, you can't say the big. You have to say the big game.
Right.
And it will be an empty arena match so that no one could interfere.
Right.
And also, though, after this challenge, Triple H comes out and challenges The Rock for a match tonight.
Right.
And says that he knows he didn't make Mankind quit, and you can't make me quit. So it's an I Quit match.
Yep.
And it's, you know,
fine.
the Triple H Rock feud we've seen before, and it's not the ladder match or anything, but
Right.
it's good for a Raw main event.
It is.
I mean, Raw main events sometimes could be like 2-minute schmazzes, so having an actual match with a finish is nice. And Triple H kind of gets the upper hand, hits the pedigree in the ring,
Yep.
hits the pedigree on the floor, goes to hit the pedigree on the table, and the corporation comes out and
Of course, yeah.
they threaten to chokeslam China.
That's right, yeah.
or just chokeslam her, and so Triple H
Says I quit.
Says I quit. But then China turns on DX and gives Triple H a low blow. She's sold out.
And so now China's part of the corporation.
Yes.
Plot twist.
Yep. And that's where we'll pick it up next time. We have
To be continued.
at least the big match at Valentine's Day Massacre will be Vince McMahon versus Steve Austin.
Okay. Again?
Yep.
Oh,
well,
the
this
cage
is
match?
singles. Yeah.
Got it. Well, you know what I mean.
You're right.
Okay. Fine.
So the rankings now for this one.
Gosh.
So Royal Rumble 1999. What?
Very uneven. I mean, without the Rock Mankind match, this would be kind of a dud. That kind of gives it a little bit of a saving grace. I'll start at a 7.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think. My lowest is Judgment Day at a 5, and it's got at least.
Is it better than Judgment Day?
Yeah, it's better than Judgment Day because it's got the Rock Mankind match, and I'll go 6.
Okay.
Yeah, not. I mean, it's the title match is good, but I think there's better Rock Mankind matches, and it's one
That's
of the
true.
worst Rumbles ever.
Right.
So that's not. That strikes against it rather than
For it.
for it. All right, and then top matches.
The Rock versus Mankind.
Yeah.
There's really no everything else would be a distant second.
I'll also say Rock Mankind. I guess I'll go with Gangrel X-Pac.
I was gonna say that
just
one too. Yeah, I forgot we would pick 2.
Just give X-Pac some love.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you'll go with that as well.
Absolutely,
I'm sure.
give X-Pac some love always.
All right. Yep. And that's it. Until next time.
Yep. So what's the next? It's called St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yes, because it actually occurs on Valentine's Day, 1999.
We should watch it on Valentine's Day. Is a Wednesday this year, so
Yes.
we'll be around.
Yep. All right. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Bye.